Hello friends, this is Shipra Agarwal from justtutors.com. So today we are going to learn about reflection. So in this session we are going to learn about reflection, laws of reflection, and what are the types of reflection do we have. So let's get started. So there we have some pre-assessment questions. You can pause the video and try these questions. So first question asks us, what made it possible for you to see the world around you? Then, how are you able to tell whether it's a day or a night? How can you read all this written here or in any book? And then the last question says, what's your answer? Is that eyes? If yes, then you are really close to your answer. But one more thing you are missing. So the missing thing is, that's the light. So yes, only eyes can't help us to see the objects. We need the light that help us to see the objects. As light from an object enter to our eyes and then we are able to see the objects. So now we have light as the two cases. Light may have been emitted by the object or light may have been reflected by the object. So that was the about the reflection. Now we have some laws for reflection. So light ray coming from an object is been called as incident ray, and while it been bounced back by a mirror or an object here, that has been called as reflected ray. And if at this point of incidence you draw a perpendicular line, then you got a normal. So the angle between the incident ray and normal is named as angle of incidence, while the angle between a normal and a reflected ray is been named as angle of reflection, as you can see here with the example of a ball. So that's an incident ray, that's a path, it's been followed by a ball, and while it's get bounced back, that's a refracted path, and this has been the normal here. So these are some laws of reflection. So there are two laws of reflection. The first one says that the incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal to the surface of the mirror all lie in the same plane. And then the next one is the angle of reflection and the angle of incidence will always be equal. So if this angle of incidence is 45 degree, so the angle of reflection is also going to be 45 degrees. Now, what is plane mirror? So, in an image formed by the mirror, the left of the object appears on the right and the right appears on the left. So, that is named as lateral inversion. As you see the inverted image, that's why it's been named as lateral inversion. And that means apparent reversal of the mirror image left and right when compared with the object. So, here we have some example like of the ambulance and for the mirror, as you can see. So now we have types of reflection. There are basically two types of reflection. So reflection is been divided into types using the surfaces. So if you have a smooth surface, the incident light will be reflected back in the same direction, and we have this kind of reflection that's been named as specular reflection or regular reflection. While if you have a rough surface, then the reflected light will scatter in all the direction. So that named as diffuse reflection, as you can see with the real life example here. So if you have a hill and with a smooth water surface, you see the clear image. While if you have a wavy water surface, you won't be able to see the clear image of a hill, and that's going to be diffuse reflection. So now let's move ahead. So is that possible the reflected light can be reflected again? Absolutely, that's possible. as you can see that after you got your haircut done, the barber places a mirror at the back to show how your hair has been cut. So that's a rear view image of your haircut, and that you can see in the front mirror. So that's because of the reflected light that's been reflected again. And that's the concept is also being used in the submarines and the tanks in the bunkers. They use periscope. The periscope is like this thing, as they have two plane mirrors that's been placed at the 45 degrees, so light ray gets stuck, uh, get the image done, and then you get to see the image of the object here. So now it's a practice time, as these are all the questions that we have discussed in the slide and with all the topics that we have covered. So you can pause the video and try all these questions here. Now, there we have the answers for all the questions. I hope you have done an amazing job in trying with all these questions and all the topics that we have covered so far. So that's all for this video. I hope you have enjoyed. So for more video, just visit justtutors.com. Thank you.